Hey, welcome. You know that feeling, right? That sense of calm you get from just taking a walk in a park? We all feel it. But what if I told you that not all green space is created equal? Today, we're going to dig into that. We're going to challenge the simple idea that green is good and find out what surprising ingredient makes some parks way more powerful for our minds than others. Okay, so let's get into it. This whole idea that we need a dose of nature is pretty much everywhere. It's this belief that green spaces are this essential escape from the stress of city life, that just being around them is fundamentally good for our mental health. And look, this isn't just some fluffy, feel-good sentiment. This quote from the UK's Faculty of Public Health puts it in really stark terms. They're suggesting that parks could be a form of treatment, maybe even as effective as medication for certain conditions. I mean, that's a massive claim about the power of nature. But that raises a really interesting question, doesn't it? If green space is like medicine, what's the active ingredient? Does just any old patch of green work? Is a perfectly manicured lawn giving you the same mental boost as a place that's a little bit wilder, a little more alive? So, that's the exact question a team of researchers wanted to figure out. Are all parks really created equal, or is there something specific, something you can actually measure, that makes one green space more restorative than another? So they set up an experiment to find out for real. And here's where we get our answers. This whole explainer is based on a fantastic study from 2018 that goes way beyond just looking at greenness to get at what's really going on inside our minds when we're in these spaces. To figure this out, the team went right into the city of Bradford in the UK. They picked out 12 different urban parks to conduct a real-world experiment, putting their ideas to the test with the actual people using these parks every day. So they basically set up a showdown between two big ideas. On one side, you've got site facilities, all the man-made stuff, clean paths, benches, good lighting. And on the other side, you have biodiversity, the richness of nature itself. How many different kinds of plants, birds, and bugs are there? So which one matters more for our well-being? And this just shows you the incredible range they were working with. These parks were not all the same, not by a long shot. Some were pretty basic, with maybe 16 plant species and just 4 types of birds. But others were absolutely teeming with life. We're talking 100 different plant species and 21 types of birds. And that huge variation, that was the key to their whole experiment. So the researchers talked to 128 people across all these parks. They asked them about that feeling of psychological restoration, that sense of feeling refreshed, like you've really gotten away from it all. And once they crunched the numbers, the verdict was incredibly clear. And honestly, a little surprising. The whole answer, really, boils down to this one number, 43%. Think about that. An incredible 43%, almost half, of the difference in how restored people felt was explained directly by the park's biodiversity. It wasn't the park's size or how many benches it had. It was the sheer richness of plant and animal life. And when you see it laid out on a chart, it's just, wow, it's not even a contest. Look at that huge bar for biodiversity. And then look at the one for site facilities. It barely even registered. The number of trash cans just didn't predict how much better people felt. But the number of bird songs and different plants, it absolutely did. And here's what makes this even more powerful. This wasn't just true for one group of people. The amazing restorative effect of biodiversity held true for everyone in the study. It didn't matter what their age, gender, or ethnic background was. It suggests this is something really fundamental about how we're wired as humans. So this is all fascinating stuff, but what's the big takeaway? What do we actually do with this knowledge? How should this change the way we think about designing the cities where most of us live? Well, this research is basically like rocket fuel for a growing movement called nature-based solutions. The idea is simple. Let's use healthy, functioning ecosystems to solve our biggest problems. In this case, we can use biodiversity to directly fight the growing mental health crisis. Honestly, this is a total game changer. It tells city planners that to build a truly healthy city, you have to prioritize real, living biodiversity, not just roll out endless patches of lawn. It means investing in parks that are rich with life is a super smart, cost-effective public health strategy. And the best part? It's a total win-win. The same spaces that heal our minds also create crucial homes for urban wildlife. And all of this brings us to one final thought. A new way for you to look at the green spaces right there in your own neighborhood. So, next time you go for a walk, I have a little challenge for you. Try to see your local park through these new eyes. Look past the benches and the pavement for a second. Try to listen for all the different bird calls. Notice the different kinds of trees, the wildflowers, the bees buzzing around, because according to the science, that's where the real magic is happening. What are you going to notice?